Hey, Paul, that click clacking is really coming through nice and clear.
Is it? It'd be good
Yeah.
for all of our viewers while they're listening on headphones and stuff.
Well, he said like 5 seconds we were going live, right? So
Yeah.
did he mean that? Oh, he did. I just got a notification that we went live. Conveniently.
Been up for 17, 18, 19 seconds. Oh,
That's hearsay.
It's ASMR for the folks at home, okay?
the hell is that gong that just rang someone?
A gong?
I thought I heard something metallic get hit.
I
Oh,
had something.
potentially. I got stuff all over the place. Who knows? This desk thing is still getting itself sorted out here.
Do
That's
you
fair.
own a gong?
No.
That's the worst
but-
part.
Yeah, it's
The weirdest part is that it's a genuine question. I had no idea.
he may or may not own a gong. I don't know at this point. Dennis has got weird stuff.
And it says,
Well, I mean,
like, he's got a
if I
little
came-
one.
If I came past a gong at a decent price, I'd be like, "Who has a gong?"
So I know close friends of mine that have gongs. So
See?
for the record, yeah.
Yeah,
One
well,
phone call.
If you're not a gong person, you're gong adjacent.
something really gross about that sentence. Anyway, how's it going, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, look at that. We have a total of 3 people so far.
Well, Ben, Black Frost, thanks for joining us. What are y'all carrying? So on and so forth.
I just saw the replay of Joe's wave.
Oh, the
That was amazing.
little queenie wave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Queen's wave.
Yeah. Well, just waving all the time, your wrist is busted, so your range of movement's really limited. But
Oh, there's classes to learn how to wave like that. That's
oh, my,
that's not forced behavior. That's learned behavior, son.
Can
the skills required,
you
unfathomable
imagine
to the
though if the
uninitiated.
Queen was like one of those people that wave like all floppy like all Muppety arm?
I think I don't know. There's certain expectations on the ruling class, and I think one of them should be you can wave like a human being.
You need a stiff upper wrist.
There it is. Exactly. Super freak today, Black Frost. Yeah, that's not the wrong choice. How's that clip? Is it still holding up?
The clip. I don't know. Does Joe know something we don't know?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. What's
I
the
just-
thing we don't know?
I just retentioned a clip for him. The other day it was a bit loose.
I see.
I happen to have a Torx, which is I don't know where that is. Funny. My Kershaw Torx bit kit right there, so nice and easy. Oh, good stuff. I found some benchmade clips once they bend like once or twice, they're really, really good. They're kind of done. They never have the same tension they used to. But
So
better-
just Ben buy another clip for
Yeah.
$12.99.
Yeah,
$9.99.
now you
Something
can do that.
99.
I wish that was an option back when I broke my my Bedlam clip. That thing got snagged on a strap and sheared clean off right at the G10. It was fantastic.
That thing has a weird clip though, doesn't it? The Bedlam?
Super deep carry, but like too little. It's kind of like it's trying to be a wire clip halfway through. And that's about where it broke. It's not fantastic. Super long for the handle, if I remember correctly. I think they actually changed that clip. Now that I think about it, I think they changed it about the same time they changed the pivot. The new pivots are, I don't know if they're still making the Bedlam or not, but the most recent pivot for the Bedlam was double-sided, like keyed on both sides kind of deal. The original ones were locking on one side and then keyed on the other.
Fair enough. I was gonna go and see if I could find mine, but it's not happening.
Fair enough.
All right.
It's not a great clip though. I feel every time I wear it, I worry that I'm gonna break it.
Yeah, To their credit, Benchmade did send me a new one. I'd imagine they'd probably send you a new one too if you broke it, but I don't know about mailing times because back then it took forever for them to arrive. It was like 4 or 5 months.
And it's a disco now too, so who knows if they have those anymore.
Thanks for answering that. I couldn't remember if they were discoed or not.
Yeah.
True story. True story. Yeah. So what are y'all carrying?
Mm-hmm.
Cal's carrying the volley.
Nice.
Ah,
Indeed.
Very nice.
Ben's got his Harpy and Nigel's custom bushcraft wasp. That was a mouthful.
the bushcraft.
Bushcraft.
The bullscap.
Bushcraft.
Bullscap. Is that the word for Italian bushcraft? Is bullscap?
I mean, obviously.
That's good to know.
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna sense a theme camping this year. Bushcraft.
And then Paul, you need to stage a couple of pictures of you like lying dead in the woods with a dagger in your hand. Like, dude, you should produce a calendar. We could sell it through Pokey Factor. It'd just be like you dead in different poses in the middle of the woods with the fucking.
Oh, if I'm gonna do it, I'd have to bring out the Cinquedilla, and I don't want to do that.
You should though. Yeah, why wouldn't you want to strap that to your pack and hump it out in the middle of nowhere and pretend to die in a forest?
You're not allowed to hump anything out in the middle of nowhere.
That's explicitly where you're allowed
I don't
to do
care
it.
whether it's a Cinqueda dagger or anything else involved, because it's the same place that I go. So
That's the problem. Yeah. So Dennis
None of
doesn't
that.
want to see it.
none of that.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. Yep.
I especially don't want to hear it.
Nice.
I feel I have to express the fact that I feel absolutely the same way. 100%.
Oh.
Brian Mooney, Dick Richards. What's going on, guys? Black Frost, it is grill craft. Yeah. Grill crafting at its best.
Nice.
Hold out in the pocket for Dick Richards. That's not a bad option.
Joe, fuck, man. Now you're making me want to carry that stupid dagger camping. That's a
Yeah.
stupid idea.
You could bring a more
lock you.
lightweight dagger. You don't have to.
Sorry?
A more lightweight dagger. You don't have to bring the the heaviest fucking thing you own.
And I was just saying that I'm going to mock you. Like, either way. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're gonna see how it feather sticks.
Did any of us show off what we were actually carrying?
No.
Not yet.
No.
Already?
You're-
The last-
I was gonna say, 8 minutes in. Yeah, we should probably get on that.
Purpose driven.
Uh,
Jesus, let's go.
Let me kick this party off here. Oh, how did that get there? A beautiful picture of my gorgeous cat. She's actually out of the room at the moment, so I'm not technically carrying her right now, but I was carrying her around earlier today. It was pretty great. No,
Pretty
I
good.
cute, just purring in my ear. It's been wonderful.
That's Pusscraft right there.
Don't like that. Don't like that
Yeah, well.
pornographic adaptation. That's not great.
Anyway,
Evoking TO4. I love this thing. I still love it. Yeah, it's probably too thick behind the edge, but it's still wonderful.
Is that your knife in the cat's bed?
It sure is. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. No, I figured I've taken
I don't know
other
if
pictures of this knife,
amazing
but
is in order for that choice. But
look, cats were involved, so it's inherently better. That's all I need to know. I'm sure Fisk would agree. I'm sure someone would agree with me. Fisk
I'm sure
isn't
we
here
can get
yet.
somebody
So.
to agree with you.
someone might agree with you. I don't know. It's questionable.
Meh. So, what's better in a werewolf attack? That 3-inch dagger, or my Trailmaster?
A 3-inch dagger?
Yeah. The
Which-
little
The
Kabar.
Kyber? Oh, the Kyber. Yeah. See,
Well, the thing is that you can say, I'm going to get you with the little one. And it doesn't sound the same when you've got the Trailmaster.
You gotta say it with a southern drawl if you're gonna have it with a Bowie knife.
I'm gonna get you.
Okay, so a lot of like older daggers, that one definitely doesn't, but some of them had like silver soldering around the blade into the guard. So theoretically, in a werewolf attack, that something like that would be better. But since neither of those knives have that, I'm gonna say probably the dagger. I mean, you may as well make them laugh. Right?
I'm going to learn how to electroplate. Put some silver on my blades for werewolf attacks. Because that feels like the most Italian thing I could possibly think to do.
Okay, off the rails. Good Lord.
Not even sure where that question came from. But...
No,
I'm throwing up what I'm carrying. Getting away from this goddamn trade wreck.
Oh,
so
word.
I was carrying, and Joe did not realize, but
No.
yeah, classy little piece. It is the Kershaw Double Cross.
It sure is.
that's a good knife.
This
Damn.
one says Japan across the side of it because it's one of the classy ones. Yeah, so I got a chance to jump on one of those, and I did so at a very reasonable price. So
I gotta ask, how's the centering on both the blades?
oh, God knows, it's a Kershaw from the
No,
90s.
I'm just curious.
Actually, that one's pretty good. That one's heavily to the left.
Let me just 1 sec here.
Main blade, heavily to the left. The pen blade is actually surprisingly good.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would have assumed the other way around.
No. That other one, it's the important one, you see.
I had to grab my bags.
Oh.
Yeah. The reason I asked is because I've also got a Kershaw Double Cross, but this one was, I forget, was it an anniversary edition or?
No, it was just a limited edition thing that Shun did for Kershaw. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The reason why I asked about the centering is because where's my flashlight? It's truly awful. Like just saying how bad it is doesn't really do it justice for how
Quick,
truly
blind the audience. Do it. Yeah, there
Yeah.
it is. There it is.
see.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, mine's off the
they're
other way.
touching.
like rubbing. Oh, that is blinding. There we go.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Told you it was gonna happen. I warned the audience even before it happened, and then
Wow.
you still did it. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's the way to lose viewers right there, actually. Anyway.
This is just one tiny section of the screen. But yeah, the centering on this thing is crap. But what's nice about it is when I go to open it, the pressure on the thumb stud actually moves it away from the scale, so it never actually scratches the blade.
Yeah,
That's nice.
mine's actually off center going the other way. So
Too bad. No such benefit.
no. But I also threw in here at the same time. I actually was doing the last of some cleaning up over at the old place that I had in northwest of Calgary. And it was a little bit of a like nostalgic. That place was pretty fantastic. Out of anywhere that I've lived in the last 20 years, give or take type of thing. Yeah, that Little Bone S place has a special place in my heart for sure. So yeah, I actually threw up a couple of our friends' wilderness. Yesterday, the female moose came through the yard, and while I was having coffee, said hello and decided to wander around our house for a bit. So I got a sweet picture of her out the back. So
yeah, there she is. Very cool.
Hello, Moose.
And yeah, I'd seen her last year, and it looks like she came to say goodbye. And yeah, good times. So
it's nice. Yeah.
Wandered around, and I got a couple videos of her just hanging out in the house, in the yard, and then decided to mosey up behind in the woods. So, and then I gotta mention the other highlight, and we had a mama bobcat that just liked to hang out in our yard, and so yeah. That was the other fantastic thing that I'll never forget about this place is just the amount of wildlife that occurred
that
for
just
us.
Kind of shows up. That's awesome.
It's kind of crazy to think that happens like just in town. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Mama Moose hanging out. She was 2 feet away from the window as we were walking by. I'm like, oh, look at you, big guy. So big girl. Just yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Super cool.
How's
Super
that for
cool.
derailing your last topic?
No, it was perfect.
Talking
I
about
realized even as I was starting the topic, I was like, oh, we're going down a rabbit hole again. But I don't care because werewolves.
because werewolves.
Apparently so. So,
So-
what you carrying, Paul?
I'm carrying a couple of things.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm carrying a SHOT Show Adamas
Yeah, you are.
and all of its purpley goodness.
It's
And
pretty
I'm
purpley.
carrying a similarly purpled Kershaw 1610 Canonian Centofonte. Because that's the only name that I can find online for what this thing's actually called.
Yep.
No name for the actual model itself.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just a Canonian Centofonte.
It's not like that hasn't happened with knife companies before. Kershaw usually names their stuff, but every once in a while.
As far as Cal and Dick Richards asking about the Bobcat froze, she was walking along, and that was actually just a screenshot of a video that I had gotten when she was like that. So it was one of the ones that came out super clear as she was walking, and I still framed one of the videos that I got of me just hanging out way too close to a Bobcat because I'm stupid like that. So yeah. The moral is
Kitty.
stay inside, folks. It's
Yeah, it's dangerous out there. There's big kitties.
Be stupid, but not too stupid around wild animals.
Absolutely. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Is purple knives going to be a ready purple going to be a theme for you going forward? You're going to slowly transition your entire collection.
Me?
He's gonna start wearing Joker pants on a regular basis. It's
Might be friends off at that point.
I might friends off myself at that point.
Start dressing up like the Joker. Come on.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I'm gonna watch where this train wreck goes. It's I'll
Oh,
stick
I'll
around.
watch.
Oh, thanks, bud.
I'll watch, but friends off. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. So the other photo, the photo of just the
Yeah.
just the Adonis,
There it is.
I put that knife down in that spot, and I have tweaked the colors a little bit, but surprisingly not that much. The colors in the stones really actually pulled the color out of this knife like crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all right. It's all right.
I'm a little torn on the coloring. Like just for the knife in general.
You don't like it?
No, he just doesn't like yellow rocks.
Yeah. Fuck him.
Too many yellow rocks in this picture.
Sandstone, get the fuck out of here. What you doing? Nah,
Yeah.
actually, I'm pretty sure you can dye sandstone. Actually, I can fix that problem.
You're such a nerd.
Stones and some really nice direct sunlight
Yeah,
made those handle scales pop.
but it does pop in this photo in particular. It's quite nice. And comparatively to your other photo here, it's just this dark thing. Hey, just drab.
It's
Which
that
isn't
is
bad.
more in line with what it looks like day to day. Is that more dark, kind of subdued maroon?
I wonder how it's gonna age, because it is my Cardo, right?
It is.
So that's gonna darken up slightly. The highlights are gonna get a little darker, but I imagine it's gonna end up looking not too much unlike my Bogo. I'm sorry, my Pokebolo scales, where like the red is kind of visible, but you'd have to really be looking for it.
Yeah. Well, and we're gonna find out because I'm not gonna shy away from the fact that this is a SHOT Show knife. I bought it as a user.
I
Yeah.
can't believe no one mentioned it's going to age like a fine wine because it's Burgundy.
Oh,
Like
it does look like somebody
missed
spilt wine on it.
opportunities.
Well,
All of you.
you took it.
Hey, you
You
know
took
what?
it.
Maybe if it starts to darken too much, I'll spill some white on it. See if that fixes it.
Yeah. All right.
I'll give it the old Italian baptism.
That's saying something. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway. So, what are we talking about tonight, boys?
Oh,
Uh,
nothing special.
ooh,
That's kind of mean.
Wow.
wow.
That's how you're going to start this conversation? Like, tell us how you really feel, Joe. Jeez.
I'm sorry.
In what, in my opinion, is one of the better knives come to market for on Civivi's list for sure.
So, yeah, okay. I mean, maybe. We're talking about the Pintail. As unceremonious as that is, the Civivi Pintail. It's a flipper liner lock with thumb studs. This particular version we're looking at is the. Do they have a particular name for this micarta, or was it just like an OD micarta?
It is
It's
dark
black.
green
It's dark green?
micarta
Okay.
is
Right,
what they
right.
call it. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's a pretty reasonably sized knife. It's not overly huge, nothing too crazy. Here's a picture of Paul holding it for a sense of scale.
It doesn't give us any sense of scale if Paul's the one holding it.
Well,
It
okay,
looks
here
tiny in my hands. Just saying.
it is next to a dragonfly. If that makes you feel better, it
A little
actually
bit, but that's
has.
because I like my dragonflies.
Well, okay, so interesting to note here, it actually has less grip area than the dragonfly. So if you find the dragonfly to be particularly constrictive, this may not be the best choice just for that alone. But it's a nice, compact little knife. You'd get more blade edge compared to the dragonfly just because there isn't the forward finger choil. And it's Civivi doing their hollow grind, which love to see it.
It's a thin, slicey blade. For sure.
S35 VN for this particular guy.
Hang on a sec. We got to back this train up. Both shout out to Darren. Thanks for joining us again, man. It's been a while. And also for your comment that it's more tweaked than a Kardashian photo. That's gold, sir. Gold.
It genuinely wasn't. It was actually less moved around than the first one. I was moving that first one around trying to get those colors to match, and it just wasn't happening because they match much more in person than they do in a photo.
That's funny.
And Dick Richards, most of these knives are where we offer at work. Not always. Monterey Bay last week was something that I procured from Fiskey. A lot of them are. I believe the Pintail is up on our website for sale. Again, some of the stuff is all in-house only that we get to check out. Some stuff is online as well. So
Indeed. CPM, Mr. Fisk, what's going on?
Hello, guys. So yeah, it's available. It's a cool little thing. I don't know why I'm not in love with this knife. It's doing a lot of things right. I think it just may not be for me personally. Not to get too far ahead of myself here, but there are so many other things I would pick up from Civivi before this. But if you are looking for S35 at this price point, because it's relatively inexpensive, it's a pretty solid pick. I don't know of too many other reputable companies using these 35 VN ceramic ball bearings in the pivot with the flipper action quite like a Civivi. And hey, it's got my card, so that's got to be worth something, right?
yeah,
So
something.
I wasn't too keen on this knife. I didn't have anything against it, but I wasn't like super in love with this knife at first. And then I learned that it was an S35. I thought it was in D2 or something like that, or Sandvik. And I popped it from the thumb studs. That knife, it's got a good flipping action. That flipper needs to be removed. But some
Sure. Steal my comments. That's fine.
I was gonna
That's
say,
fine.
I feel like it has more impact because you feel that way a lot, and I never feel that way. But this is a prime example of a great knife to do that on. I'm sorry.
wow, shady.
Oh.
Is there anything else I talked about that knife throughout the week that you're going to take from me tonight as well?
You better get in there, Dennis. You better get in there if you have anything else to say.
Jesus Christ. Internal stop in, that's fancy. Don't shrug at me. That's extra milling.
Is it internal, or is it like half internal? Because it's got the exposed end, right?
It does the same thing that my my Voking does, where the studs move through the handle, through the liner,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, it's not. It's internal, but I don't feel like that's the right term for it. I think you have a photo somewhere in here. I don't know how well it turns out though. Yeah.
And while we're
You can see it
spouting stuff here as well, ceramic ball bearing on this one, not stainless steel.
I did say ceramic, didn't
Did you? Sorry. If I'm being repetitive, it's what I do. So
we're all pretty repetitive. It's all right. But yes, ceramic at this price is quite nice.
S35 at this price is quite nice too.
Yep.
Like that's
Yeah.
Cold Steel is the only other company I can think of doing something around this price range. And they're a little bit more expensive.
It's kind of what I was thinking. Actually, was my holdout. I forget what the MSRP is for this guy, but I think it's less than what this knife is. I'm pretty sure.
I was thinking it's Code Force.
Probably close to the same, but yeah, the Code 4s are in and around that same kind of price point type of thing. Yeah.
Code 4s are bigger. Yeah, they're using aluminum. Obviously, they're not using.
There's different things, but absolutely.
If you're worried, yeah, if it's mostly bang for your buck, I think you're better off with a Code 4. Just if you need more blade, but these are very different knives too that we're talking about. So I don't know that. Yeah. Where do you guys see this knife existing best in? Like, what kind of role?
Mini grip Chilean.
Yeah.
Mini grip Chilean kind of role. That's for me. That's where it fits in.
S35 at that hollow. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Dick Richards. I'm not gonna be opening my drink with the pole axe. Old Poley has seen too many things to open someone else's beer. So what I am going to do, though, and I highly recommend you try this, is take some of the Big Rock Blueberry and some of the Honeybuck and combo that stuff up, and it's delicious goodness.
What is this blueberry?
Big Rock Brewery, Blueberry Radler.
Okay.
And you throw some of the Fallen Timber Honeybuck in there.
What's your ratio? What's your ratio?
I don't know. Delicious to delicious. Here, this is for. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that much of those things.
That doesn't tell me shit about ratios, but that's okay. Do you mean that much of each? It's like half and half then. Okay, fine, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I could always mix the taste. We'll see.
Because of the blueberry, I've had varying levels of opaque compared to the honeybuck. So, and
fair
it's
enough.
Turned out good every time. So,
okay, I got to ask Black Frost a question here, real quick.
Okay.
Are those readily available? Because I am going to buy one of those right now. I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna
leave the live stream.
I'm gonna change.
Is which available?
The mix pack, but includes those.
Okay. I guess I'm behind on messages because that just appeared as you said that. Weird.
Oh, and for the record, I didn't like the variety pack. I'm not usually. I had to mix this, and that's how I found the delicious combination. But it by itself was not impressive to me at all. So
really,
yeah.
Huh.
Shiro F95
Sounds
0.
fucking amazing, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, you can decide for yourself. But yeah, so whatever the Shiro F95 0 is, Fisk is all congratulatory. But
What do you mean, whatever it is? We're gonna, as if we haven't detoured enough.
I don't know. It's a Shiro.
Yeah.
Not saying
You're-
that Shiros are a bad thing. I like Shiros. So it's just
Yeah.
may or may not look like a Shiro. Yeah, that looks like a Shiro.
Yeah, uncanny how much that looks like a zero.
I don't think we can shit on him for having designs that look like his designs when all of our favorite designers do the exact same thing.
Oh, nothing
Oh,
against.
100%. But the neon
I started
zero.
this conversation with, don't get me wrong, I like Shiros. It's just the Shiro looks like a Shiro.
So this is the F95 zero. Can I zoom in, please? Thank you. Oh, I see. Flat handle, slight chamfering versus a lanyard hole. Okay. Those are the two differences between these guys. And I'm sure size. I think the Nero's smaller. Every Shiro I've ever handled has just been ridiculously nice in person, though. Like,
Yeah.
just absurd quality. I mean,
Anyway.
better be for the money.
Off the rails, you say.
Yeah,
Civivi Pintail, you say.
Yeah, we can probably get back on track here. Yeah, so you're saying mini grip, filling up the role of a mini grip. I actually would argue that this is probably okay. The mini grips, to me, rate as a knife that you can abuse a little bit, mostly because of how thick they are behind the edge, and they're not like supremely thick, but they're thicker than this. I think if you were more concerned with cutting performance, this would be a better choice than the mini grip for sure. Although,
tough S35.
sorry.
I said you also have a nice tough S35 as far as stainless steel goes.
Yeah, definitely tough by comparison compared to the S30
Yeah.
for sure. But I think the geometry on the, not 100% sure on this, but I feel like the geometry on the mini grip would more than make up the difference in terms of overall toughness. Maybe not at apex toughness, like you'd probably chip the apex of the S35 or the S30 before the S75 here, but yeah.
I'm not even commenting on that. I just mean in that thin hollow grind, the S35 is a good option for being a nice tough steel for the thin grind.
Yeah.
So that you can use it a little bit harder than you could potentially some other things.
Fair enough. I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
The more I'm looking,
slicey knife.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent stock thickness too. Like it's sub 3 mil, right? It's
gotta be.
Yeah.
2.6.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. That's this guy right here. Man, I'm really liking this trend of the thinner blade stocks on the smaller blades.
And then 58 to
nice.
60. So hopefully you're on the higher end of that.
Yeah.
Careful, you're gonna get sued if it.
I said hopefully.
You too.
Yeah, me especially. But
yeah.
Yeah, getting this in at a 60 would be better. Would be
Agreed.
absolutely better for sure.
But what about resharpenability?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of an argument to be made.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
Chris Reeves made a pretty strong argument for that for how many years?
Neither one of you should take the bait. Don't take the bait.
Yeah, no.
that was bait. Joe was trying to take the bait, and then Paul tried to steal it away from him. It was a bait question. Get sued. Just get sued.
Right into oblivion.
Yeah, I actually really like this knife, and yeah, my main thing was going to be a flipper delete on this knife.
Yeah,
Paul was talking about doing it to a hawk, and I was like, no, the real knife you need to do it is this Pintail. It fires beautifully from the thumb stud, and it looks not bad. If you take your thumb and just cover up that little spot right there, that looks like it might be a flipper, all of a sudden it's like, well, that's
So
I would
I really hate to say it. Like, I actually really, really, really hate to say it. But the more I'm looking at this picture of the knife and I'm thinking about it without the flipper tab, I'm like, yeah, I could fuck with that. Like, I'm just thinking about how on the Cogent, for instance, this is a large enough handle that it's not so much of a problem. Thank you. But with this guy, oh, sorry, it looks like I'm throwing stuff from my cat.
Are you? Or does
A
it
little
just
bit.
look like it?
Well, to an outside observer, that's what it would appear to be. But in reality,
to the untrained eye.
to the
but in reality,
but in reality, I'm actually
yes.
playing fetch with my cat, which is awesome.
That
But
baseball did hit her in the back of the head.
so this curvature on the handle here doesn't really match up with where the blade stock actually goes. And I've often thought in this situation, well, that's kind of pinchy. That'd be nice if I had the whole fucking handle. Thank you very much. This knife in particular, because of how small it is, the Pintail, really feels like it would benefit from having that flipper removed or at least minimized.
Well, I was just looking at yours, and you just need to like sharp tooth it to get rid of that little piece,
Yeah.
and then.
And realistically, there's enough of this sticking out that you can still like push button it. I've thought about it. I've already had to modify the button lock in this thing because the lockup was less than stellar out of box.
How many sheets of paper are you up to now?
Oh no. I actually ended up taking. I took the plunge. The whole button out, put it into a drill press, took a diamond file, and I've been removing material off of the upper shelf on the inside of the plunge so that it'll seat more deeply and actually fucking engage with the blade tang. Yeah, not super impressed with the lockup of this thing, but now it actually doesn't rattle. I can barely feel it move. Anyway, people talk about how good Civivi's quality control is, and on the whole, I'd say that's true. But this is the second lemon I've seen like this. At least on my own collection, so there's that. So keep in mind.
All right. So Civivi, yeah. What was your other Civivi lemon?
Yeah.
There was the.
Is it just the drifter because none of us like the action? That doesn't count.
No. I actually. This is actually going okay. But see, I still mess it from time to time, but I've gotten the pressure mostly figured out. For me, it was actually the lack of smoothing. It was more just a fit and finish thing. When this was brand new, there was a huge shelf like this stuck up like a millimeter. It was like that when it was brand new. It's since worn in, but it was not ideal.
You got a stuck up lock.
Yeah.
And no one likes a stuck up lock, man.
No one. And to be clear, this is super minor. The plunge lock for me is and I'm sure if I contacted Civivi, they'd probably send me a replacement button or have me send it the knife and then they'd send me a replacement, something like that. But I just didn't want to go through the hassle.
$29.95.
Yeah. I don't really want to pay shipping on this stuff.
Not sure what Dick Richards is asking to paint black with a Sharpie, but sure, why not? Paint some stuff black with a Sharpie. I can encourage that.
Paint.
You can get those paint Sharpies. So yes.
Yeah, touche.
Yeah.
And I want to say for the record, I didn't consciously go, this is the idea that Dennis is going to make it. I'm going to make it first.
Backpedal.
Genuinely, did not. But
that's too funny.
But that is what happened, so we have to
it
live
was
with
a
it.
strong feeling. That knife needs to have a flipper delete.
And I
think the Hawk should too. But
I will say, if you've got medium-sized hands, well, Paul, you would actually. Okay, so for me, this feels a little.
Glove.
Yeah. Well, my hands are a little fatter than yours, at least across that dimension. So for me, I feel cramped holding this knife, but only slightly because of that flipper tab. How bad is it for you? Do you really notice it at all, or do you just prefer the flipper wasn't there?
No, my hand fits on that knife fine.
Okay, I would say for most people, you're probably going to be fine with both the thumb stud and the flipper tab then. It's just nice that this is a knife that's prime for that kind of a mod.
And I can wear it in my left goddamn pocket.
Right, the pocket clip holes. We didn't even talk about that yet.
Oh, I'm on it. Don't you worry about it.
I knew you would be eventually.
It's pretty nice too, actually.
What's this now?
in pocket. It's pretty nice.
Do we have a picture of the
Slipped
pocket
in the
clip?
pocket pretty okay.
Yes, we do. It's not bad. That's not bad.
Clip itself is like, pretty nondescript, but at least it's
So-
a deep carry. Like it's so.
I don't know if I talked about this last stream or maybe the stream before, but I know some people bitch about the. I shouldn't say they bitch, but they complain about the Civivi pocket clip being a little bit of a hotspot, the way it kind of comes back up and bills out. This might be for a larger discussion for another time, but I personally really prefer when clips do that and they come out and go straight for a bit because it's less of a pinch point in my hand. Do you guys find the clip to be hot spotty, like generally speaking?
100% dependent on the knife.
Okay.
I had the exact same spoon. It fit me like a spoon. And that's not the right description, but you know.
That's okay.
I
And
know, like,
And
the
sometimes
mental image that brings to mind.
and sometimes the spoon is way more uncomfortable. And
That was
What?
the more comfortable option.
Well, fitting like
Oh.
a spoon is better than not fitting like a spoon.
Yeah, this whole situation is less than ideal.
I'm talking about the pocket clip. Come on, guys.
Clearly,
Well,
clearly.
I'm aware of what you're talking about, but for some reason, I'm wondering how you fit a spoon in your anus.
Joe.
Nothing ejected, gentlemen.
Well, so
but
much
but
for
that was
conversation. You
but
couldn't
that
leave
was
it
close.
as innuendo, eh? You just couldn't.
No.
You had to throw it under the.
No, I
bus.
had to see if I could make Joe spit up.
I'm trying to finish off my energy drink so I don't pass out in the middle of the stream.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Could have just left that. To
Here
the
you
kids.
are.
Oh, I was going to until I saw him take that big old like swallow.
Yeah. Thanks.
So
Thanks
yeah,
for anyway.
Pintail, you say?
Yeah, the clip. I personally found the clip just fine on this particular model. If I was trying to grip it particularly hard, like a life or death, I'm gonna get in a struggle with a werewolf. Sure. It might be a little pinchy, but at the same time, this is such a small handle. I don't see that happening.
Darren's taken off.
Nice seeing you.
Have
Thanks for
a,
popping in.
Darren, really good. Glad you joined us, man.
Sorry to hear
Yeah.
about the vomit fest.
Oh,
not ideal.
that's not great. I must have missed that.
Yeah, no, that's a terrible festival. Don't pay money for tickets to that show. You'll be sadly disappointed. Either way, Darren, we got to catch up soon, brother. So.
Indeed.
Nice to see you, man.
I was
I
going
don't
to make
even
a
know.
point about the lanyard hole
Oh,
and just say that. CPM's just saying let's talk about heat treat. I think we
58,
on that subject.
58 to 60. That's what the catalog says.
so obviously
We
it's
talked
not
about that
ideal.
last week.
It's obviously not ideal to have a 3-point spread.
Yeah.
It'd be better to have your heat treatment a little bit more tightly controlled, but at the same time, what does this knife cost in American dollar reduce?
$98 on Civivi's own
Okay.
website.
So for $98, you will be pretty hard pressed to find something that keeps a better tolerance in its heat treat than there aren't too many companies that are doing a 1 or 2 point spread at this dollar value. I will say that much. And in the volume that Civivi produces these things in, not super shocked that they're probably doing like a batched vacuum style heat treat. And there's probably going to be stuff on the high end. Not much you can really do about it without charging a bunch of extra money. Heat treatment is very expensive. This is something that people look at the cost of the knife, they look at the cost of materials to build it, but sometimes the complexity of heat treatment is kind of forgotten about. And when it comes to steel like this, you got to do things correctly. Yeah.
I got one more. I'm gonna skim over CPM's comments because I'm not getting drug under the bus
Oh.
on that particular fight.
No.
That's for sure.
A little
That's
inflammatory,
an
are we?
interesting thing that they may have said.
Now, what I am going to say is on this particular knife on Civivi's website, they have 33 reviews on this particular knife.
Okay.
32 of them are 5-star, and one is a 4-star.
Yeah.
Huh.
Nothing is 3 or lower.
So, would it be safe to say that this is a knife that potentially delivers on its mediocre promises? No, I'm sorry. It's
Is it
Really-
safe to say they paid people to make reviews? And by that I mean paid a company that made a bunch of fake reviews?
well, it's on their own website, so obviously that's a little bit sus. But that being said, outside of a quality control issue, is there anything really inherently wrong with this knife?
No, but people complain about the weakest of complaints. Have you not watched the 309 or 310 videos that we've made?
Good shit. But point taken. I
It blew my mind. I realized today that we made that many videos. I was like, holy fuck.
yeah, I've been at it a little bit.
So here's some vagary questions too. I was looking at the 6 questions on their website at the same time too. I don't know if you even want to bring it up, but one of the
6
questions
questions.
is what it says account, but it means angle. Should this knife be sharpened? What angle is factory set?
Are you talking about like they have an FAQ under the Your Knife
No,
section?
they've got the reviews and then they've got questions and you can click on questions.
Okay. Which Pintail am I looking at? Because there's the carbon
Not-
fiber variant with 11
Mm.
reviews, and then the 33 reviews with the wood handle, or micarta.
The 33 reviews, because that's the one we were talking about earlier. Yes. Not the carbon fiber one's the Damascus blade, so I wasn't looking at that one in particular. So
Okay. I just wasn't sure how they broke it all up. But here is
So-
that page.
Have a good night, friend.
Dominique.
Take care, man.
All right, Cal. Thanks for joining us, man.
Indeed.
Thanks for dropping in.
Anyway, Dominique is the question. December 23rd. Oh, just before Christmas. Sharpening up a pintail.
Hey, there's Dominique.
So, I would like to ask under what account should this knife be sharpened? What angle is factory set? Under what account?
So not account. She meant angle the first time.
Yeah, just
Or him. I don't know if Dominique.
That might just
wants
be
it.
bad Google Translate or something like that.
oh, don't eat that. That's
Better is the answer though.
So-
Civivi's answer is much better.
We would like to share with you that the ideal sharpen angle is 30 degree, but there will be 5 degree differences due to manual sharpening. So the sharpen angel,
Well, that too, but yeah.
Good old
It's around-
Sharpen
it's
angel.
around 25 to 35 degrees. So if there's a
For the
5
record, I believe in sharpened angels. Let's get
I
that
bet.
out of the way right now. It's
All right. Yeah, that sounds like something.
But yes, if you actually take the contents of their answer, I have questions. Sir.
Yeah.
I think we should point out to Dick Richards that they're $100 USD.
So
98 bucks American.
So
So 25 to 35 degrees per side.
no, that should be inclusive, right? It doesn't say.
Based
Now-
off of what I've seen in the knife, it's got to be inclusive.
I don't think
But
it's
that-
inclusive though.
Does that mean 25
It
inclusive?
which was
Could we
ridiculous.
be looking at a 12.5 per side angle?
No way in
Oh,
hell.
man, I got kitchen knives at that angle.
With how
Do you
thin.
have a Civivi pintail at that angle? Because that
So
No.
leaves-
this is probably This is probably a 25 per side. It's kind of a steep angle. And it's hard to tell because of how aggressively thin the blade gets. But if I were to guess, based on this,
So if you have a thin enough blade stock and you sharpen it at a more obtuse angle, do you still get a good slicing knife because the geometry is doing the work for you?
the
And
I
you
mean,
get a tougher edge that can hold up because you've got your.
I think there's a trade-off, but ultimately, I think you're leaving performance on the table.
Sure, for
yeah.
sure. But can you make a knife that's?
Depending on your thickness behind the edge.
And this one's pretty thin behind the edge.
I'd say depending on your thickness behind the edge. I think it totally depends on that particular measurement at that point.
Yeah, that's kind of.
So on the per side argument, if you're looking at a 25 to a 35, like you said, obtuse edge, does that mean that you might have a Civivi that might be looking at a 70-degree inclusive angle?
Oh.
Yeah.
Again,
so
is it 25 on one side and 35 on the other?
These are the answers that Civivi answered. So I'm just going off of what Civivi put in their Q&A.
Just make it a 90-degree angle at that point.
What exactly? So whoa, what are you guys talking about?
If I were to hazard a guess, I think the more beneficial answer is probably the correct one, that the sharpened angle inclusive is 30 degrees. That's what they aim for.
It's more likely to be 30 to 35 than it is to be on the 25 side of that.
I'm kind of thinking that's probably the case, and obviously it's going to differ from knife to knife. Stock thickness.
That would be like 15 to 17 degrees per side, and that would make.
And if they're giving that 5 degrees variance, does that depend on both sides? Is that per side? Like, could I have a 12.5 on one side? And
I'm going to. Well, see,
like, can I get my knife sharpened left-handed, please?
If they're saying that the 30 degree is inclusive, like that first measurement they give is inclusive, then I would say the 25 to 35 would actually be inclusive as well. That's going to be the benefit of the doubt. My best guess, based on this answer, that's probably what they're trying to say.
Due to manual sharpening, 5 degrees could be on either bevel variance.
No, I think they're talking about 5 degrees total, so 2.5 degree variance on either side.
Okay. Yeah. I follow you. Yeah. Okay. I can agree with that, but even still, that is a vague as shit answer. That leaves
because they're hand sharpened, right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a potential slight variance.
Yeah. I mean, with the amount of different blades that Civivi makes, of course you have to hand sharpen them. You're not going to make jigs for every single model you produce.
You think they got a jig for the Elementum?
Might, only because of how many Elementums they make and sell. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Now I'm also curious about, is that where they put all of their bevels? Is they aim for 30 inclusive? Do they aim all their steels?
I hope so.
That would be nice, because every steel that they use has pretty decent chip resistance, if I recall correctly. Like, I think the most chippy thing they use is probably D2.
I would say my rustic gent is probably sitting at that angle.
Yeah.
It's a nice slicing blade.
Yeah.
It can peel stickers without cutting things. It's a great little blade for that.
They really are. Both, actually. Well, that guy and the Drifter are pretty fantastic for that kind of work.
Well, knowing from time to time that you can get a 25-degree bevel on your Civivi, I mean, probably got some stuff that's slicey.
But even a 35 is still like
not shabby.
17.
Not too shabby. Yeah.
Still reasonable.
On the fat end, it's 17 degrees.
Yeah. Like, that's still pretty decent, especially if you look at Benchmade Spyderco. Spyderco does an okay job a lot of the time, but yeah.
Don't look at them. Don't look at them.
Not too closely.
Don't look at us.
We're being asked in chat, by CJLA298 what our opinion on changing a bevel after purchases.
You should probably do it. No, it depends on the knife. It depends on a lot of factors. Depends on the steel. Depends on where I want to push that said steel.
Yeah, like, like my Adamas, my original Adamas in D2, which is buried. I'm not going to leave the computer. I'm going to grab it, but it didn't cut things very well. Like it popped logs apart like nobody's business. Like it was goofy good for stupid shit like that, but actual cutting performance was not had on that thing until I resharpened it to a 17 degree. That thing cuts very well now, but it's also still like a 5 millimeter blade stock or something like that. Like it's tanky. So in certain cases, depending on what you're doing, I think it's worth it. I was just gonna bring that up actually. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, changing bevels.
Yeah. Well, there was that.
I don't have my Puko nearby, but
that's the other one.
Bevel change by you for me as well.
It might be in this giant stack of knives somewhere.
This actually brings up a point that I was going to make too, though, is the fact that thank you, Civivi, for setting it to an angle that I was going to set my knife to anyways. It just makes resharpening that much easier the first time.
Yeah.
I can just correct where there might be wobbles or, you know what I mean? Like if it's slightly off on one side or the other, but I'm not doing a full reprofile.
So I'll say one thing in terms of unless Dennis, you got something to show. Like
no.
Okay.
I all of a sudden had this. I don't know where half of my fixed blades are. So
sure. All right. Hopefully, just in a box somewhere that you can find easily.
Probably, but like I said, we're working on unpacking, so I'm sure they're kicking around somewhere. But
yeah. You know, I was really hoping this was in a better position for me to grab, but one of my all-time favorite sharpening tools ever. Spaticle double stuff. So my original stone, which needs to be cleaned a little bit, is they're fine on one side, they're medium on the other. I've also picked up the diamond and the ceramic as well. And I have to say, I tend to keep factory bevels on most of my knives for quite some time. If I find that things are dulling out too quick, or I just feel like experimenting, I'll try thinning out the edge. There is something to be said for sometimes companies can burn their edges by sharpening them via belt without any kind of cooling system for the initial sharpen. So sometimes you may have to sharpen a few times in order to get to properly heat-treated steel, stuff that hasn't been burned. For instance, CRKT, their crossbones, the original model that they made with the Oz 8 and the aluminum handles, still one of my favorite designs that they've made ever. I've actually, this is probably one I'm going to be carrying tomorrow. Well, carrying tomorrow is the M390 variant, but their Oz 8 version did not hold an edge. Like I could go.
You were quite vexed by that whole situation.
Dude, what a piss off! Sharpen that thing fully, like full apex removal, and resharpening probably like probably 3 or 4 times before it finally like, oh wow, this edge is lasting longer than 3 days. Because like I would go through 4 or 5 cardboard boxes over the course of a week, work week, and then it would be dull again. So sometimes you have to sharpen stuff before you get to decent steel. That being said, I don't know if it's worth jumping into right away. Like I know some guys who as soon as they buy a new knife, they reprofile it immediately. They don't care what the steel is. They don't care how thick the blade stock is. None of that plays a role. They just want to sharpen it to 16 degrees per side and mirror polish the fucking thing.
And detanto it.
And detanto. I actually met someone today who also detantoed their bailout. Yeah,
it's the right answer. I miss it. I want to get it fixed.
Yeah,
I miss you bailout.
Anyway, went on a bit of a rant there.
CJLA is saying that he changed the bevel on his OG Umnum Zen.
Nice.
Which is nice. I like to hear somebody actually doing something like that too. Reeves, as far as just like, no, I'm actually going to use this thing. I'm going to put it how I want it.
Some purist would say, hey, you shouldn't be messing with perfection. Tim Reeves knows what he's doing. But there are those out there who are the voice of reason.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start a fight.
A little bit. No, but there is something to be said for modifying tools for your needs. Like if you're using your Sapenza or your Nanzan and you end up chipping the edge, you may want to resharpen it to a more steep angle, so you have a bit of a tougher edge. Like that's a perfectly valid response to having a chipped edge. Yeah.
For the record, Paul, you said we, and I didn't say shit. So
Yeah.
That's the meme.
Yeah, pretty much.
What I was gonna say about that is that I will often use a factory edge until it goes dull, just out of curiosity to see how the knife performs from the factory. And then I will reprofile based off of that information.
yeah, I think I'm actually going to do that to the 609 coming up soon, my ZT.
Oh yeah.
I think I've kept it. Yeah, I've kept it on the factory bevel for a while, but I think I'm going to make it a little slicier. Yeah, so
It's probably the right thing to do. Since chipping my tip on my 707, I've been thinking that I should probably do a similar thing, but it already starts at a decent bevel for how thin the blade is. But yeah, 20 CV in particular, I like making it thin.
Yeah, I was gonna say I reprofiled my Anthem, thinned out that edge a bit.
Yeah. Wow, we
It's
really
right for it.
strayed from this Pintail review. I just looked over and saw the picture.
I think yeah,
Um,
we're pretty much rounding it out on the Pintail review.
Yeah.
It's,
We
Did
did
I
keep talking
say
about.
anything about the lanyard hole? I can't remember if I actually made the comment or
no, you just stole mine and then ran.
I think you started to talk about the lanyard hole.
Okay.
I think you said something about it being out of the way. I think.
It's out of the way. It's not my preferred aesthetic for a lanyard hole. I don't like when they skeletonize it.
Prefer
But as
something like
far
that
as
kind
a
of deal.
functional, yeah, I much prefer tucking it away where
Yeah.
I don't have to see it if I don't want to use it. And I do like using them, but I still tuck it away. Hide your shame.
Yeah, you should hide your shame. Stanson 357. Thanks for joining us. You bet later. Paramilitary. All right, one SR1 light. Wow, we're rocking a nice utility belt going on. And Dick Richards
think
to.
He says my PM or this PM like tonight.
Oh, I see what's okay. Not a paramilitary reference at all. Just a nighttime
I
reference.
might be wrong.
No, I think Paul's correct on that one. Yeah.
And Dick Richards, what we used to regrind, Paul or Joe went into diamond stones, whatever type of thing. I also have been using coarse diamonds. I've got a couple different systems that I do not have set up at the moment, but honestly, yeah. Some coarse butterfly, easy lap does a goods.
If I feel like if I have a general idea of like, I wish this was slightly thinner, super unscientific way of doing it, but I'll just often freehand it. I do have a precision. Is it precision edge? The precision edge from Work Sharp. I've used the diamonds on that. It's a bit of a slow process, but you can totally reprofile something on that.
You should bring that by the shop on Wednesday.
I will say that clamping system, like for a blade that's skinny like this, or worse yet, something like this, where there's barely anything to actually grab. Oh, it's a painful thing to try and sharpen this thing while having it clamped securely.
Yeah, there's skinnier the blades, the harder the clamp system works because your stone needs to get over the clamp. And if the clamp is too big, it doesn't have the space to, because now you're trying to get past the clamp with the stone. Yeah.
I'm gonna try and make it work for the angst. Get that thing finally.
Oh.
If you were to put it, because it's a dagger, if you put it clamped on the one side, it'll actually raise the other side up, and you won't be using true angles, but you could black Sharpie marker it and figure it out.
Make it work.
Yeah.
That
would actually help your cause, as skinny of a blade as it is, but that angle would actually get you more past the Yeah, bushcraft.
I like that. I do appreciate that both Paul and I were no hesitation.
So when I hear the word bushcraft, I'm thinking buscata. Like,
Are you gonna make it while we're out there?
twice baked cookies in the bush
The bush.
sounds like an awful thing to do. I'll see what I can do.
Yes.
Probably not.
See,
Maybe I'll just bring some bruschetta as a snack. It'll be a good breakfast, the Italian breakfast cookie.
CJLA using a Lansky, using one of those guided the clamp systems with the aluminum little bitey vise. Those I got one of those from Paul actually. They're pretty decent. Those stones though, they're bad for reprofiling. Diamond. I know you can get a diamond from Lansky. I hope you have one of those because otherwise it's just a bear.
Yeah, the standard system doesn't go fast.
No, not really.
Even on fairly soft steel, it doesn't go fast.
Do we want to?
Oh, I was gonna say, what are you gonna say, Joe?
Oh, just maybe formally wrap up the Pintail, and then we can keep talking about sharpening if you guys like. I think it's a pretty decent topic, but
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I don't know how deep we're gonna dive into this
No.
evening, but yeah. Follow up on the Pintail. What are you guys? Final thoughts, feelings, whimsies?
I think it's a solid option.
yeah,
Bang for your buck.
it's a hell of a good recommendable knife. If you don't have much in the same size category, it's definitely a standout. For the dollar, it's good. You have to. Well, I shouldn't say you have to like black blades though, because halfway through saying that, I do recall that there is a number of different versions that have satin blades. Brown micarta, olive micarta, then there's a couple Damascus versions. I think this is incredibly recommendable for the size. You just have to be. I don't know. I'd say get it in hand, like a lot of things we talk about. But for if you have large-ish hands, I think it'll be manageable. Like for me, it's mostly comfortable.
I think this one might, and it might not. It depends on the person's hand, but this might fall into that knife that if you throw a little lanyard hanging off the butt end, and you got a larger hand, you might actually get a 3-finger grip.
You know,
It'd be okay.
actually, for how short this knife is, I might agree with you on that. Not too many knives I'd be happy to stick a lanyard on, but for just to give it another quarter-inch or so off the back end.
Just this.
Just
this.
3/4 of an inch off the back end.
Yeah, exactly.
CJ is saying that he picked up the extra coarse diamond. So
Nice.
what is that, like a 120 grit?
Yeah.
Something, or an 80 grit, or yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You could see individual diamonds at that
I
point.
was gonna say, what's your grit? 2.
What's your grit? 2 carat?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you have a dragonfly in your hand. Well, there you go. Nice and easy comparison. Hand picked right for you, CJ. That's awesome. I'm struggling for things to critique about this knife, really, aside from I wish it were slightly longer, but
I think honestly the standout is the action. To steal Dennis's point again.
That's a Civivi thing, but it is nice to see it in something other than a flipper from them.
I think materials in general, like when you're looking at price point, I think this is like you can buy a Delica or an Endura that you're getting the plastic handle with a lockback with VG10.
Yeah.
Or you can get a Pintail. Like so
Spyderco Japan factory needs to figure something out for their blade steel, I think. VG10's...
What's a mini bug out go for? Because this is definitely less than a mini bug out.
Comparable, I think. Like they're pretty much neck and neck, aren't they?
No, I think a mini bug out is probably $20 American, more 25, maybe 30. I don't know.
They are on a ceramic ball bearing there, CJ.
Yeah.
Pros and cons to that. Ball bearings get gunked up more. Absolutely. However, this is again, in my mind, such a small knife, even for someone whose hands it would fit very well. This is a small enough knife that I'm not thinking about it in terms of a hard use, nitty gritty, tons of dust and debris and whatever.
Well, you're not going to cut drywall with this?
I might. I'd sooner do it with the Dragonfly, I'm telling you that. Especially with a K390 blade. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Joe's not allowed to touch my Dragonfly.
Oh, that's okay. I have a knife I'd rather put through drywall.
I need to get on this
Yeah.
K390 train.
You do.
That's all right.
Oh my god, it is such a nice steel.
I
It's
watched
okay.
BBK's video last week about K390, and it reminded me just of how redonkulous it is.
It's okay.
I struggled not to turn this thing black. Let me tell you that though. Anyway. Yeah. Pintail, recommendable. Gets gets 4 out of 5 pintails.
What exactly is a pintail? Is it a type of bird?
No, that's a
No,
pin
that's
feather.
Okay, I was gonna say that's QSP anyways.
Yeah,
as far
this
as
isn't a penguin review.
Yeah.
They name a lot of their knives after birds though, so you can't really blame them for making that assumption.
Yeah, no, but what is a pintail? Like, what is it?
It's a duck.
What's it?
It's,
Okay.
it's actually a bird. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give this 7 mallards out of 10 because this doesn't look like a duck. Because
Would
it
it
doesn't
get
look like a duck.
would it
I'm
get
gonna give it
more
ducks
or
because it doesn't
less?
look like a duck. Huh?
Would it get more or less ducks if it looked like a duck?
It would get more ducks. It would get at least 1 extra duck, a bonus duck, as you were.
What if it had like a laser etched duck on the blade? Would it get more or less ducks?
Where are you?
I don't know what he's looking for at this point.
No idea.
The neck muck now, maybe?
Oh, there it is.
I'm gonna score this thing because Paul just left the chat. Apparently just wandered out into the nether.
And one, yeah,
It has to be at least this much duck.
called it. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I'm going to rank this 3.5 messed up seagulls because I don't remember what knife that was that ended up being just the name of a messed up seagull, but I'm going to steal the scoring from that one to score this one.
Messed up seagull?
I don't know. There was another knife we reviewed not too long ago, and the name of it was something messed up, and we looked into it, and it was like a messed up seagull looking thing.
The Gannet.
It was the
It was the Gannet.
It's another QSP. What's with all the bird themes for their names? I kind of low key dig it, but it's also kind of alarming.
This one's not a QSP.
Or, yeah, no, sorry, but QSP does name a lot of their stuff after birds.
I assumed all of their stuff is named after birds at this point. I haven't looked into it, but I
think the birds are in control, at least of the QSP factory.
The cameras are always
that
watching.
would explain why there's never a maker mark on QSPs.
No maker's mark, but on their website they do actually name some makers for a couple of their designs.
Really? Other than Rafir Noble?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was the Strike, maybe. There was there was a fixed blade that they had a name on.
You're just making stuff up, I think.
No, it's if you go to the fixed blade section, I think it's the wood-handled one with the
the ear set.
Pins.
Love the look of that little thing.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't 9CR14.
No, maybe not.
This one does not, no. Yeah, no. 57 to 59. Come on.
Yeah, that's not great.
The Bison does not either. All right. I thought you sent a picture in chat saying that they credited designer, but I can't remember the knife you had up.
I did. Yeah, no, I'm
Oh,
gonna look it up.
well, here's one, the Workaholic, which is designed by Sven Kinast? Kinast?
Was it the hamster, maybe?
Anyway, they do credit at least Sven here.
All right, fair enough. I noticed that there was well, and notice this is a Workaholic. There's no bird name on this particular one. Which again, back to the conspiracy of the aviary that is the QSP headquarters.
You gotta be careful with their aviary.
They're advertising the ability to take the handle scales off of this knife and attach your own DIY paracord wrap.
They even include the paracord.
Why would I ever want that as a feature?
Because they include the screwdriver, Joe.
Why would I? Why?
Because they care. CGLA is also asking if I know any as fast as my Riot. Some pretty good. The Monterey Bay thing is fires pretty damn snappy.
Yeah.
And a bunch of the Wee Knife thumb stud, like my Thug is pretty snappy as well. So I don't think it's as snappy as my Riot. That the Rhino is just the perfect mix of pop. I don't know. Yeah.
I was gonna say the Tur pop's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got that same kind of.
Yeah. So anyway,
I don't know if I have much available.
Wading through a sea of penguins right now to try and find the knife.
Is that where you're storing it? Is a sea of penguins?
Look
Now it
upon
is.
my sea of penguins.
Yeah.
And despair. I have,
Yeah,
believe me.
Fair.
I have, believe me, I have despaired plenty.
Can we get a tsunami of penguins?
No.
Like all of a sudden there's just like this weird eerie lack of penguins, and then they all.
An eerie. What would it take for there to be an eerie lack of penguins?
How many penguins does it not take before it's creepy?
How many not penguins?
I mean, if they all like went mysteriously missing from the zoo or something.
I wouldn't miss them.
God damn, sir.
That's mean.
Penguins don't change my day-to-day life. Come on.
Oh.
Yeah, y'all ever wonder what a penguin might taste like? It's got to be fishy, right? Like it can't be good.
Oily. It's oily for sure.
Speaking of regrinding.
Speaking of eating penguins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's okay.
Sometimes you gotta eat a penguin.
Only a hint of a recurve. It's fine.
But the other thing's been used pretty hard, but I don't think there's a recurve yet.
No, I was just saying it to her ass.
No, I know, but it made me self-conscious, and I had to check. And now my cat's on the table.
All right, gentlemen, we should think about rounding this conversation up here this evening.
It's not something that we need to spend a lot of time on, but it was something I mentioned to Joe earlier in the week, and I think we should touch on it. And I was going to send an image that I actually screenshotted from Instagram, but I think if you go to ZT's website, they have it like front page.
Oh yeah. We'll dabble. We
probably
Don't have to go
should.
into too much depth, but I think
we'll dibble with a dabble. Let's see.
if they don't announce stuff at Blade Show that's coming up here,
Well, of course they've got this to announce.
oh, dude, why?
I'm out. I'm out.
Emotional damage.
Look, I'm not saying I haven't bought a lot of ZTs, but I haven't bought a lot of ZTs lately. And that trend looks like it's going to be continuing.
I've bought a couple, but they're all old.
Yeah.
Am I off by rocker? Did this thing sell better than I thought it did? Because I don't remember this thing selling for shit.
Not particularly well, not the original version. That you're talking specifically about the 20 CV with the carbon fiber and red titanium, not the copper. And wait, is the copper the only difference here?
Yeah, they had leftover parts for sure.
It's literally the only difference. reading about it online, at least as far as blade forums and what I've seen on Instagram, it has not been regarded as a good seller. I mean, even other people who are like not affiliated with us or our store have said that it's kind of a shit seller. So keep that in mind.
I don't think that making it heavier was the like that. That's the thing. That's the thing people are missing.
Well, I think they just saw copper and then just went for that.
They weren't selling as many copper matrices as they thought they were going to, so they had some left over.
So the weight is 2.8 ounces on this thing. Smaller
Nice.
and heavier than a bug out. Keep that in mind. I don't know.
It's
I don't
heavier
know.
than an Osborne, dude. Like,
The thing that you know what? There is actually one thing that really makes me mad about this knife. Can you guess what it is? Oh, my ass is thoroughly chapped from this knife.
I don't think it's from this knife, Joe. I think you just need to get that checked.
No, look. I said knife. I meant spoon. Just leave it where it is.
The good spoon or the bad spoon?
Well, it's the bad spoon now.
I don't use that spoon.
Anyway,
there is no spoon.
That's how you get pink eye.
Okay, the thing that pisses me off about this knife is the fucking pivot collar. It's not anodized. The original one was at least anodized. You're gonna charge me more money for a crappier product, and you're not even gonna put the same level of effort into the finishing. Come
what
on.
color? I wouldn't want a blue.
It was blue. It
No,
was
I
blue.
I wouldn't want
Oh.
a blue. What color would you want to?
Literally anything else. Give me a color. I don't care.
Green. Pink.
Purple.
Yeah, could do all the things.
Yeah.
Purple would look good.
Yeah, it would.
You're ridiculous.
Yeah, it would. Love purple. But
Purple looks good on all the things, man.
does.
All right, Joker pants.
Don't like that.
No.
That's the thing now. Anyway, no, it doesn't like
Don't
piss
get
me
your
off,
Joker pants on.
make me angry kind of thing, but like just such a stupid last minute. And of all the knives to do this to, and this one actually makes the most sense because it's such a small thing. But
Well, you know, it's a new release for 2022.
Is that Canadian or American funds there?
American.
So $300 American.
Yeah,
For
so
a knife that I
it's
didn't want before.
I
don't want
believe
now.
the original one was 225 American, if I remember correctly.
So do they think that if they made it exclusive, they would somehow sell more?
So right now, the price has been slashed on ZT's own website. The original went for $290. Now it's going for $232. The new version is going for that original $290 price point. Yeah.
Isn't that convenient? If only there was a way for them to manually change their own pricing on their own website.
Don't knock until you tried it, man.
I was gonna say, I think Joe's just leaving the conversation.
Sorry, just yelling at the cat. Give me 1 sec.
There's only one ZT sprint run that really matters.
Which
the Copperhead.
Yeah, it's all right.
Jacques Hughes.
The 777 was arguably in there too. I know Black Frost actually has one. I mean, it's not a Copperhead, but the 804. It's not bad. It's not bad.
For the
yeah, but that wasn't a sprint run.
What, the 777?
No, your
804.
No. The Copperhead. Yeah, I was just showing the close variation thereof that we have. Yeah. I don't know. And I mean, even some of those original, what was it, the 888 and the 999s and stuff. There were some pretty ones.
Oh, what is it? Is it the 920? Which is
Sure. And they did a bunch of sprint runs of the 609. I mean, I think there was a purple one for you assholes, but
they did a bunch of sprinty stuff for the 452s and stuff too. Titanium.
Yeah, but you know, they weren't. Oh, Which titanium ones? Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway.
They make a 452 that's titanium on both sides.
Oh, that was a limited, wasn't it?
Yep.
I believe.
And the blue with the blue. Yeah. All right, let's round this session out here, boys.
For sure. Oh, that 920 is so pretty.
It's all right.
Yeah.
That's a cat.
Hi, kitty.
She's biting you.
Yeah, it's a cat. You said it.
Okay, so, Paul, have you released anything about Civivi Ripple on the website
Not even.
or on the Instagrams? No, not even a little bit. Okay.
Nope.
Okay, well, that's going to be running for a bit, at least till the end of the month, because we haven't even posted dates yet. So I imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think there'll be a couple other things for the giveaway, but the main thing we're doing, cracked 1,000 views on Instagram, so we're giving a riffle away.
Yeah, we've
took me a
been
second.
consistently sitting at like 1,010. We have not gone below 1,000 since this most recent time that we got over. So I think it was the inconsistency of my posting somehow did its algorithm magic.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Hey man, apparently posting is not the thing that was doing it. That's all I'm saying.
Interaction wasn't our best suit.
Although we do get actually a fair amount of interaction on like our Ganon photos we put up. We got 4 or 5 comments.
But yeah, also on YouTube, thanks for everyone who joins us week after week, liking, subscribing, sharing, notifying.
We were saying too that anybody that donates to our Patreon is getting added to this giveaway as well.
Yeah, that's pretty much a given. An auto ad.
And I haven't confirmed it yet, but would we say that if you're Patreon and on Instagram that you would get like a double?
A double down? I don't know. We're gonna double down. I don't know.
That's fair.
That's just me making sounds now. I don't even know where that was going. Yeah.
I'd be double down for that.
Get out.
My sounds were better, and they weren't actually words, for the record.
Look, just because it's true doesn't mean it's not hurtful.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it didn't need to be heard.
Some things need to be said.
Yeah.
Guess which finger this is, Paul.
It's his toe.
Oh!
In that orientation.
Oh!
Just one. Just one.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
That's the Roman toes.
Great. On that note, I'm gonna take
I'm
off
gonna put
now.
that picture up on celebrityfeet.com. Stretching the term celebrity, but
They sure are feet.
Yeah.
All right. I think that pretty much sums us up here, gentlemen.
I think so.
So, thanks to everyone who joined us. We'll be back again next Sunday. Same Pokey time, same old poll channel.
I like how Joe's just casually pulling out his sword cane as we're
Just-
closing up shop here.
No. Regular cane shaft to poke my cat off of furniture.
Go on, get.
And I guess on that note here, guys, I am who I am. I'm Dennis Swipers.
I am the Iron Joe.
And I'm XL.ca.
Thanks once again for joining us, guys. Stay tuned for rules and everything else for the giveaway. And by
You're
stay
gonna
tuned,
say-
I don't mean keep watching this video because
gonna say,
we're
are you gonna
leaving
say
for the
that-
night.
Are you saying the rules now? Are you going to
No.
quickly
No.
scroll through? I don't know what they are. I don't trust
No.
Joe to just say the rules.
They will be up on our Instagram. We will
That's better.
discuss them amongst ourselves and then post them up over there.
Bye-bye.
Now get.